Hey, friendo, Steve here. I'm here back with your Raw recaps. It's coming out Raw. That's what it is. There was no going in Raw for Monday because me and Larson and Dan couldn't get our schedules together. We're gonna maybe do something later in the week to make up for that. We'll see about that. I imagine because Sheamus was champion, we're all kind of like, yeah, fuck it. Like, why do we even care at this point? Why do we care? We don't like Sheamus. Nobody likes Sheamus. He's boring. So like I barely even watched Raw. I'll give you your recaps, give you a rundown of who won and who lost. First of all, we had Sheamus's sort of coronation, his celebration. Everybody said he was boring. Everybody said he looked stupid. Nobody seemed to care. Triple H seemed very happy with himself. And then Roman Reigns comes out, talks some shit to Triple H. He asks for his rematch, or he demands his rematch. Triple H says, "No, it's not gonna happen." So, anyways, but and then Rusev sucker kicked Roman Reigns, starting up a feud between Rusev and Roman Reigns, which is interesting because that's the main event that was at the house show I saw like a year ago when I got this picture with Roman Reigns. The Wyatts went over the Dudley Boys. That's what the Wyatts can do now, I guess, is beat the Dudley Boys because they lost to The Undertaker. They need some wins. They need some actual wins. Sasha Banks went over Becky Lynch. It's probably my favorite match of the night, to be honest with you. I love Sasha Banks. I think she's great. I like Becky Lynch. I think she's a good wrestler, and I think it was a decent little match. I want to see more Sasha on Raw. New Day Rocks comes out. The New Day comes out, and it's their 1 year anniversary. So they had a little celebration. They made me laugh quite a bit. I was very happy to see them. They had an open challenge, which they promptly closed after not only the Lucha Dragons come out, but also the Usos. And it got me thinking when I saw the Usos come out. Well, you know what? I don't like the Usos. I think they're boring. Not a lot of personality. But I think my thing is this. I think they do have personality. I just think they don't use it really. They just do the baby face thing. So I think it'd be kind of cool if they were to inject some of that sort of silly humor that the New Day has. If they were to inject some of that into a feud with them, I think this might be able to turn me on the Usos. Maybe not, probably not, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Neville beat Mark Henry. It always surprises me when Mark Henry comes up because I always think that he's retired. I don't know, like how often does he even come out anymore? I don't know. And then at the very end, like Mark Henry loses. Everybody's surprised about that. I'm like, well, it's Mark Henry. He never wrestles. And then he shakes Neville's hand and says, "Hey, I respect you." That's good. He's this good sportsman, I guess, now? I don't know. I miss the days when Mark Henry was, a mean dude. Let's see here. There's a little segment here. Titus invaded Stardust little, like, constellation area or whatever. It was really funny. I like Titus. He's really funny, and Cody Rhodes can do no wrong. And then we had the primetime players with the returning Goldust versus the Ascension of Stardust. I'll be honest, I didn't watch this match. I think it was at this point that the lingering menace of Sheamus's boringness infected me to the point where I had to take a nap. So I did that instead. No, I didn't. No, I just left the room. I think I might have eaten. I think I got my burger at this point. And then Zeb Cole, because I remember seeing Zeb Coulter and Alberto Del Rio coming out. This thing still confuses the shit out of me. Because what are they talking about? They're talking about how Mex America, which I think is supposed to be both countries mashed into one, he's saying everybody should leave America. This is very confusing. The entire angle is very confusing. What they're suggesting is all people coming together in unison as one to benefit all instead of divisiveness. That's a face thing. That's a good thing. That's not a heel thing. So I don't know what these guys are talking about. I do know that Alberto Del Rio, who's an impressive looking man, looks ridiculous walking out to the ring behind an old man in a lark. That takes away some of the championship luster. All right. So then Jack Swagger comes out and says Zeb used to be all about America. But their angle was like a racist angle. Or at the very least, xenophobic. But they were like anti-immigrants and stuff. So how is he the face in this? Anyways, I think this is Jack Swagger just fodder for Alberto Del Rio. I mean, I'm glad they're addressing old stuff. But that doesn't make a lick of sense to me. None of this, it's like a bizarro angle. You know what I mean? Like, They're supposed to be the good guys. They're like unifying people and unifying two cultures who are often at odds. They're unifying them. But they're running everybody down in the process. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's weird. Then we had Paige versus Charlotte, and I guess they got counted out. I watched a good chunk of this match. Maybe Paige and Charlotte just don't match up. Maybe they're trying to do too much. The match yesterday wasn't very good. The match today wasn't very good. There were some sloppy moments there. Maybe they're building to, because this was a count out. There was a count out. Sorry, I should have said. Nothing happened with the Jack Swagger. Then he came out. He came to the ring. Alberto and Zeb just sort of took off. So that's setting something up. Paige versus Charlotte. I figure there's going to be something that's going on for a while. TLC, I'm thinking maybe they're going to let the ladies, because I know Paige said before her and AJ Lee wanted to have a Hell in a Cell match, an actual Hell in a Cell match. Maybe they're going to do a TLC match. Maybe they're going to get the opportunity to put on a good TLC match, like a tables, ladders, chair match. Maybe that's going to happen. I don't know. They needed something decisive here, though. They need a good match. They need a match that's going to make people pay attention, because they haven't done that yet. Then apparently I fell asleep because Ryback... I fell asleep at the right moment, because Ryback and Heath Slater had a segment where Slater had a guitar, try to attack Ryback with it. I looked this up online, and then Ryback killed him or something. I don't know. He decapitated him in the ring, maybe. I don't know. He ate him live. Then we had Dolph Ziggler and Ambrose, the faces from two of the matches yesterday versus the heels from two of the matches yesterday versus Kevin Owens and Tyler Breeze. I like that Tyler Breeze is sort of mixing it up there on the upper mid card. I think that's good for him. Again, this feels like that the entire episode, the entire Raw just felt like directionless. There aren't any, besides the main event scene with Sheamus being the champion. And then there are no new things happening. This should have been a launching pad for new things happening. Survivor Series is a big pay-per-view. Afterwards, it's supposed to be new storylines coming out. Not just, hey, let's ram these guys into a tag team. That doesn't make any sense. Or it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't go anywhere. So you're watching it and you're like, why am I even watching this? I did not, because I fell asleep. I think I might have wandered in at one point. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I knew it wasn't doing anything. Roman Reigns versus Rusev was the main event. Roman Reigns, and I guess he won, but it was sort of a skirmish at the end he had a chair. King Barrett came down, so I guess he's part of the Authority now. The Authority now, when they're up here with Rollins, now they're down here. Because you get two guys who are on the undercard as a tag team. Sheamus, who's the world champion now, and Barrett, who's King Jobber. And Rusev, who we all thought the WWE was pissed off at, and he was injured on top of that. They're all in the Authority now. I don't know. It doesn't they lack a real threat, because none of them are really a real threat. I don't I mean, evidently they are doing what Larson on our podcast Going in Raw has said they're going to do. Use Reigns, use the one person. Use Sheamus, the one person in the company who nobody likes, who people literally get so bored by, and they're like, you put the belt on him. Get that one guy to get Reigns over, because he's the one guy that everybody hates, and they know that Reigns, thank God, that once he wins, it's going to be thank God. I just hope they don't carry all the way to WrestleMania. Reigns needs to get that belt at TLC, and then take that into WrestleMania against whoever wins the Rumble. But if this ends up being Sheamus takes this belt all the way to WrestleMania and Reigns wins the Rumble, that's two pay-per-view main events that are just ruined. Ruined. That's Reigns winning the Rumble, and that's Sheamus keeping the belt till WrestleMania. So that main event's going to be fucked up because Sheamus is going to have the belt. That is not a good match for the main event of WrestleMania. They're trying to break records with that thing. So anyways, I took a long nap during this episode of Raw. I thought that was the appropriate thing to do. Anyways, that's it for Coming Out Raw. Like I said, we're going to have... We did it Going in Raw on Sunday. It was a questions thing, so we answered all your questions. So you can check that out now on our channel. And then maybe later on this week we'll have another one. I'm not sure. It's Thanksgiving week, so for the Americans out there, you know what I'm talking about. For the other ones, you might not understand what we're doing. I don't even get why we're celebrating Thanksgiving, but it's a holiday, so things are a little bit different this week. So anyways, that's it for Coming Out Raw. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys later.